Because basically what you find, and we can only sort of see it clearly once this shift of consciousness has happened, but once it's happened, it's very, very clear that one's whole entire life was about seeking.
So, as Adyashanti mentions, that after awakening, you see that your whole life was about seeking. But what's implicit in this is that unless you have awakening, you are trapped in the realm of seeking, even if it's seeking enlightenment. And so with the miracle process, what we're saying is harness the mind. The mind's still engaged, the mind still wants to be seeking. Seek to have it recognize that the miracle is here right now. Seek to have it recognize that everything is amazing exactly as it is. This interrupts its tendency to seek for past or a future. The mind at this stage, before enlightenment, needs something to do. So we're giving it something to do, which is see how this moment, this very moment, is a miracle.
Not just spiritual seeking, but seeking for the right partner, seeking for the next happy moment, seeking for, you name it. The right house, the right picket fence, the right job, the right... on and on and on and on and on and on. And only in retrospect do you realize, my God, my entire existence was basically about some form of seeking, some form of the next moment might be a little better than this moment. Or keep this moment, keep feeding it so that it doesn't turn into a worse moment.
So in the state of awakening, this seeking disappears. You are one with everything. You don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to prove or disprove. You don't need to agree or disagree. And that's why it's blissful. What I'm offering is the miracle process. I'll link to the other videos. Essentially, it starts with a very simple meditation. You breathe in, breathe out, and when you're breathing in, you want to push down the diaphragm. And then you just say the following phrase twice. Just to get yourself in that frame. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, nothing to prove or disprove. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, nothing to prove or disprove. And then I will see each moment, each opinion, each thought as a miracle. And when I forget or refuse to do that, that too is a miracle. And it is. I mean, think about how many billions of planets there are, billions of stars there are, billions of people there are, and here you are having this experience. Even if it's an illusion, you're having it. And the universe is getting to have some emotion, even if it's anger or guilt or regret. Or being mindful or not being mindful. All those are miraculous. And so we begin to condition ourselves because we're currently living in a conditioned state. We can wait around for the awakening, but in the meantime, maybe we should suffer a little bit less. Now, I do want to distinguish the removal of suffering that the miracle process generates, also known as the peace process, versus actual awakening, which is obviously much more profound because you're actually dropping the identity completely, as Adyashanti explains.
It is almost as if you took off an immense weight that you didn't even know you had on. The weight is the weight called you. That's the weight. And it's hard to comprehend what the weight actually is until it's not there anymore. But only when it's not there anymore do you realize what it is, this immense psychological weight. And then it's gone. And then it starts to fall away. Mostly because your sense of reality has shifted. And yet that begins a whole new, in a state of consciousness in which you aren't seeking. most human beings, when they come into that state of consciousness, they really don't know what to do. You hear that at these kind of gatherings. Like, what do I do now? Where do I go? What's it all about? What's going to energize my life? Not that life isn't energetic, of course, without seeking. If anything, it's much more energetic. It's much more full of life. But for most people, it's odd. It's strange to not have your life based on seeking. To not have it based on a happiness linked to a goal or a purpose or meaning. It's strange for most people to have this sort of existence fall away.
And so, as Adyashanti says, we have this habit of linking our happiness to a goal or a purpose or a meaning. Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning, it was all about that. And so, what we'll do typically is, because we can't face, or it's so strange to be in any existence where we're not attached to a goal or meaning, is we'll create artificial meaning, either through family or career, or through hedonistic desires, or chasing after certain sensations and avoiding other sensations. And the fact of the matter is, very few people, apparently, are becoming awakened. So I do believe if you're only going to watch one YouTube channel, you should listen to Adyashanti. But if you're going to listen to two, I'm offering something, I believe, that is valuable, which is what to do if that awakening never comes in your lifetime, or if it takes years to happen. To sit around and just suffer seems insane to me. Of course, I should say that the suffering may accelerate the awakening process. We have examples where that happens. So I can't even tell you whether this is useful or not. So many people are pushing their technique or their brand of spirituality, and they're claiming to have certainty, and I'm telling you, I don't know. All I know is that by simply saying, each moment is a miracle, by every time I catch myself thinking, I defeat the tendency to criticize myself, either from coming out of a state of being mindful, being present, or it's often a desire or a seeking that is what's coming up, and therefore it is, if I take it as true, which often we do, I'm either propelled into the past or the future, and I'm in a state of either subtle or great agitation. And so with the miracle process, I'm simply saying, okay, the fact that I'm getting stressed out about this is a miracle. Wow, I'm getting to be the universe being stressed out about something. As soon as I remember that, it lets the air out of the balloon. And so that's what I'm offering. There's no cost for it. You've got the model right here. I'm linking you to other videos. I don't believe people should be making money off of this. If we're all in this together, if we're all one thing, why are we charging each other for these things? And secondly, why are we killing it? Like, he's very good at articulating what the awakened state is like, but it creates a lot of frustration for people because they're not in the awakened state. And so they'll keep going to retreats and listening to the videos, hoping that they will somehow get a transmission. And perhaps they will. That's why I'm saying, listen to him. But in the meantime, I'm offering this method as a way to decrease the suffering. Thanks for listening.